Coiba National Park declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO in 2005. It's a natural reserve of great value located in the Pacific Ocean, in front of the Gulf of Chiriquí in the Republic of Panama. Its total extension is 27,012,543 hectares, of which 53,582 are terrestrial or insular. The park is composed of more than 30 islands, Coiba being the largest, with an area of 49,300 hectares. This area is home to exceptional biodiversity and is considered one of the most diverse regions on the planet. Within Coiba National Park, you can find about 1,400 species of plants, 224 species of terrestrial vertebrates, and about 1,700 hectares of reefs and coral communities. It also provides numerous environmental services and is of great tourist interest. Activities in the park can be grouped into three main components. Our main priority in Coiba National Park is control and surveillance. Approximately 50% of our budget is allocated to counteract illegal fishing and resource extraction. We carry out marine patrols both day and night, during these hours that most of the illegalities are committed. Another important component of our actions is monitoring. We firmly believe that a protected area must have scientific information about its biological resources in order to manage them properly. For this reason, we have been developing a successful monitoring program for several years. For example, in the case of hawksbill monitoring, we have detected that Coiba hosts the largest population of these species in the entire tropical Pacific, from Mexico to Chile. Given that the hawksbill turtle is critically endangered worldwide, this finding is of great importance. We also conduct underwater acoustic monitoring to assess the state of ecosystems and the presence of different species through sound analysis. In addition, we conduct shark monitoring using remote cameras to study their population and distribution. These activities allow us to obtain valuable information about the marine life in Coiba and to take appropriate measures for its conservation. In Coiba National Park, 19 species of sharks have been recorded. Our objective is to verify the movement, displacement, and location of these species. Since approximately 2013, we have been working in the park, dedicating the last 8 years to various monitoring activities. We conduct reef population monitoring, herpetofauna monitoring, and many other types of monitoring in order to manage and make decisions based on the biological resources we have here. In addition, we also take care of visitor control, a task that requires a lot of effort, especially in times of pandemic and post-pandemic. We strive to manage the flow of visitors and their distribution at each site, which demands a great deal of effort from our team. We also have administrative tasks such as infrastructure management, budget execution, fund acquisitions, and vessel maintenance. In short, our work is arduous and complete, and we carry it out thanks to the joint effort of the entire team that works here. In addition to monitoring activities, hiking is one of the popular activities on Coiba Island. One of the outstanding trails is the Monkey Trail, which is 17 kilometers long and lasts approximately 45 minutes. This trail will take you into the dense forest of the land, and it normally takes about 45 to 50 minutes to get to the other side, where the creek is located. So let's start our hike. My job here is to protect and maintain the natural resources, as well as to combat illegal fishing and harmful practices. In Coiba National Park, no spearfishing or trawling is allowed. Only sport fishing and artisanal fishing are allowed. Over the years, I considered this place my home, a haven of tranquility. I am pleased that people value and respect the work we do to treat, maintain, and preserve nature. Coiba is an island of volcanic origin, the largest island in Central America and the largest uninhabited island in Latin America. It is part of the underwater ridge of the Cocos Plate and was formed thousands of years ago as part of the Galapagos Islands before the tectonic plates moved northward. It evolved in isolation, separated from the mainland of Panama. The national park is composed of a total of 270,125 hectares, including marine and terrestrial areas. In terms of terrestrial area, approximately 53,000 hectares are mainly made up of Coiba Island, the largest island in the Central American Pacific. In total, there are 38 islands that make up the park. We head north from the area you already know, located about 8 nautical miles from Big Bang, the closest point to Tierra Firme. Then we head abruptly south, reaching the Caros and the Corrida Islands, the most distant and located at the southern end. It is an extensive area. In addition, there is a special marine protection zone that, although not part of the park, is recognized as part of the UNESCO World Heritage Site. This additional zone covers approximately 116,000 hectares. In total, we are talking about almost 400,000 hectares of protection, which we must guard and preserve. To understand a little of its history, it is important to know that a penal colony operated on the island of Coiba from 1919 to 2004. This was one of the factors that allowed the island to remain uninhabited, thus preserving its natural wealth. In Coiba, most of the prisoners were scattered throughout the island, living in 30 makeshift camps whose boundaries were the surrounding nature. In 2004, when the prison was closed, 80% of its forest was still intact. Today, one of the great challenges of Coiba National Park is for the Panamanians to forget the past and continue working to protect and conserve the fundamental insular, coastal and marine ecosystems. The goal is to preserve biodiversity and existing ecological and evolutionary processes. During all these years at the park, I've been able to give continuity to these processes, and one of them has been the professionalization of the team. We have trained and strengthened the staff so that they can become divers themselves. We currently have 4 divers in the park, 2 advanced divers and 2 open water divers. This allows us to carry out all the necessary monitoring. Maintaining a solid monitoring system is crucial, as a protected area that lacks biological information is powerless. Information allows us to make management decisions and focus our efforts effectively. In addition, we have strengthened control and surveillance to protect national resources and combat illegal activities. Here in the park, thanks to a donor, we have been carrying out negotiations and agreements since last year to install 2 radars that will help us in control and surveillance. One of them will be located in Gambust and the other in Canales de Afuera, 2 strategic points for our operations. Our goal is to use technology to minimize the use of resources and optimize our work. In addition to monitoring and surveillance, we are also considering the use of telemetry. Currently, we are monitoring sharks with cameras, but we want to explore the possibility of using telemetry. We want to move towards using technology in all aspects. Coiba is home to the largest coral platform in the Central American Pacific, with approximately 1,700 hectares of coral. As I mentioned before, we also have the largest population of hawksbill turtles, mainly juveniles, which use this area as a foraging site. Our goal with shark monitoring is also to determine their distribution and population. Sharks are top predators in the food chain, and their presence is indicative of a good state of conservation of marine ecosystems. The importance lies in protecting and conserving this area, since this is where marine species are found and then disperse into national waters, becoming objects of fishing and contributing to the country's economic activity. We are part of the Eastern Tropical Pacific Marine Corridor, a regional initiative in which we collaborate with Colombia, Costa Rica, and Ecuador. This corridor is composed to 5 core areas, where connectivity between them has been proven. We represent an important link in the conservation of marine biodiversity and the promotion of connectivity in the region. There is a notable movement of migratory species in the park, such as whales, turtles, and sharks. The conservation of this place is crucial because of its biological diversity and its importance both regionally and globally. We are responsible for raising and maintaining these species, which are then fished, contributing significantly to the national economy. Diving is one of the most popular activities in the park. Thanks to the abundance and richness of its seabed, it is considered a first-class destination for lovers of this sport and has 31 authorized sites for the sustainable practice of underwater diving. Its beaches have fine sands, transparent waters, and coral reefs with a great biodiversity, as is the case of Granito de Oro Island. This small islet, located off the northeast coast of Coiba Island, has become a popular stop for visitors to the park. Its natural beauty has created a natural aquarium, where activities such as snorkeling and scuba diving can be enjoyed. Its main inhabitants include eels, schools of colorful fish, and sea turtles. In fact, the waters surrounding Granito de Oro Island are considered one of the top 10 diving destinations in the world, along with the Galapagos Islands in Ecuador. Cocos Island in Costa Rica and the Malpelo and Gorgona Islands in Colombia. These areas make up the Eastern Pacific Marine Corridor, CEMAL. Established in 2004, which seeks the adequate management of biodiversity and marine and coastal resources of the Eastern Tropical Pacific in Costa Rica, Panama, Colombia, and Ecuador. In Cerro Cambudo, we have two viewpoints. The closest one requires only 5 to 6 minutes to reach, and from there, you can see the Rancheria Coco, Granito de Oro, and appreciate the beauty of the sea. It is widely recognized as a natural jewel that we must care for and preserve as a valuable resource given to us by nature. The Coiba National Park of the Republic of Panama plays a crucial role as a lung for wildlife conservation and biodiversity preservation. I'm proud as a park ranger. I am proud as a park ranger to work in this place and strive to ensure that future generations, such as my children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, will be able to enjoy it. My father and grandfather also worked at Coiba, preserving and maintaining this invaluable heritage. Biodiversity and conservation are exciting topics that require a lot of effort, money, vision, and dedication. Often, the results of our investments are not evident unless we visit the site, dive, or do sightings to appreciate the efforts of all the people involved in this fight. Governments cannot do everything, which is why non-governmental organizations and donors are essential to support our work. Environmental protection is everyone's responsibility, not just those of us who work in the parks or in the Ministry of Environment. It is a joint task. I sincerely invite all viewers and people from Latin America and around the world to visit protected areas and support them. We are the lungs of the world, and in some cases, the last strongholds of forests and nature. These resources and environmental services are of vital importance to the world. Get to know these areas, support the staff, and support the governmental and private entities. Get to know these areas, support the staff, and support the governmental and private entities in charge of protecting and conserving these areas. This requires a great investment in terms of money, effort, and work. Coiba National Park protects Panama's largest island
protege la mayor isla del país y algunas de las aguas
and some of the most biologically rich waters in Central America and the world.